and right there?
Okay, so I used to go to Bob's every day at 2:30.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd have coffee and chocolate shake. And this silver goblet shake, they were made then, was, it's kind of like soft ice cream that came out of a machine called a Taylor machine.
Mm-hmm.
And it sort of swirls into this silver goblet cup. And this silver goblet cup, they keep them in a refrigerator. So when they come out of the refrigerator, they're cold. And then the Taylor machine puts out this softer ice cream into there in a swirl, brings it up to a point, and they bring it to you and set it on your table. Okay, so in 7 years, I had this every day at 2:30. The reason I went at 2:30 was the Taylor machine, the mixture comes from out of a thing that looks like a milk carton. And there's chocolate, strawberry, and vanilla. So there's a kind of a pink carton, a brown carton, and a white carton. And they pour this liquid in, and the Taylor machine cools it. And it's got to get cooled to get a thickness on the curl of the ice cream. So during lunch, they make many of them, so it never has a time to cool down. So I would go at 2:30, so lunch is well over, and I could get a chance for a perfect shake. In the 7 years I went, I only got 3 perfect shakes. And a perfect shake is the goblet is frosted when it arrives at the table. There's still frost on it. The ice cream is like butter, like cold butter. It's like almost solid. And it has specks of chocolate in it. And it even gets a little bit of a frost on it when it arrives. That's a perfect shake. Only got 3 in the 7 years. The reason I stopped is because I went into the dumpster one time behind Bob's, and it was a giant, one of these giant dumpsters that have a ladder. You got to get up a ladder to go into it. I went in and I found the empty cartons, and I read the ingredients on them. And Chris, it's not an Ayurvedic product, Every word of the ingredients end with either ate or zine. There was not a natural thing in it. And I thought, Dave, I don't know if you should be having those every day. And anyway, I weaned myself off of those. And they've stopped doing them that way anyway. So, but I would sit there and have this, and they keep refilling your coffee. After lunch, there's hardly anybody in Bob's till dinner. So it was a beautiful thing, well lit, and friendly atmosphere, tons and tons of coffee, a great shake, chances for a great shake anyway, not always perfect, never perfect except 3 times. And then they have these napkins, and you can draw or write on the napkins. So you have a little business desk with treats. It's so beautiful. It's just great.
That's all the time we have for today's show. Thank you for joining us, David.
Absolutely.
No, I'm just teasing.
The quest for the perfect shake sounds like it's a great metaphor for making art.
Yeah, it is. We're all looking for perfection, I guess, really. Like Maharishi says, we're always looking for more and more and more, and that ultimately leads us to enlightenment. Along the way, the more and more and more can lead us to doing many strange things.
One of Hollywood's worst weeks in years just got worse. David Lynch, the 4-time Oscar-nominated filmmaker behind Blue Velvet, Mulholland Drive, and Eraserhead, a legend within Hollywood and the film industry in the US, has passed away. This is a man who actually also did a couple of other great movies, the likes of Wild at Heart, The Elephant Man, and others, who also created the Showtime drama Twin Peaks. He passed on at the age of 78. Man, things have been really very worse, most especially in the LA area with the so many fires that are taking place. But of course, now seeing the news that the legend has passed away is really very devastating. His family posted the news on social media saying that Lynch had been diagnosed with emphysema, and of course sources told reporters that he was forced to relocate from his house due to the fires that happened just recently and then took a turn for the worse. In an interview he did with Sight and Sound magazine last year, Lynch David revealed that due to corona fears and his emphysema diagnosis, he could no longer make or leave the house, which meant he actually directed and did most of his interviews from remote. He then followed up with an interview with a post. I was looking through his social media and he said that he will never retire despite all his physical challenges. The statement was released by the family saying that it's with deep regret that we, his family, announced the passing on of the man and the artist that is David. The statement continued and said, we would appreciate some privacy at this time, and there is a big hole in the world right about now because he's no longer with us. But of course, as David could say, keep your eye on the donuts and not on the hole. It's beautiful day with golden sunshine and of course blue skies all the way. This is a legend who actually took he started his career way back in around the 70s, and of course he had been born in 1946 in Missouri, Montana, and began his career making short films in the late 60s and was part of the American Film Institute class of the 1970s. By the way, that class released or actually brought a lot of filmmakers, great actors, and of course so many people within Hollywood. His career took a turn off during the 80s and he followed up successes of great movies like I've told you, Elephant Man, Dune, and of course so many other projects. Rest in power, King.